it's Cindy from Crochet by Cindy. Today is an exciting day. It's our first YouTube video, and we're going to start that day with learning the chain stitch, where crocheting all starts. So grab your hooks and your yarn and let's get started. Okay, before we get started in learning the chain stitch, I wanted to go over some of the various yarns that you may come across when shopping for yarn. A lot of my students ask, what is the best weight of yarn to learn to crochet from? And I always suggest that you want to use like a worsted weight yarn or higher. And what I mean by that, a worsted weight yarn is like the regular yarn. If you see on the label, you'll see a number 4 with like a little spool of yarn and it says medium. That is a worsted weight of yarn. And they always, on the label, they always have a crochet, recommended crochet size hook that you want to use. You will find that whatever crochet hook works for you is going to be the best. Some people crochet tight, some people crochet loose, so I always don't go by what is recommended. I have a tendency to go a little bit lower in size with my crochet hooks when I crochet. But this is a cotton yarn. This is like 100% cotton. That is good to learn how to use. You just don't want to get like a thinner yarn that, like this is an alpaca. You don't want to get like a smaller weight yarn that's difficult to use, to learn from. And this is a chunky. That's okay to use too, as what to learn. So for each weight of yarn, you have a recommended hook size. And so the thicker the yarn, like this blanket yarn back here, your hook is going to be bigger, okay? The smaller the yarn, like the tatting thread that I use for when I make my miniature dollhouse blankets, my hook is much smaller. And I don't even know if you can see that hook on there, but at the very end is a tiny, tiny hook. I definitely need my glasses on and a lot of light when I crochet my blankets. Also, you will find that there's going to be plastic hooks, there's going to be metal hooks, and ergonomically safe hooks. This just is a metal hook with a plastic or rubber handle. If you have arthritis, that's probably the one you want to use. And there's also antique. This is one in my stash. This is like an antique crochet hook. I believe it's a crochet hook. I may differ in thinking that it's a latch hook, but I think it's a crochet hook. So I just wanted to show you some things like that, and we'll get started in learning the chain stitch. Chain stitch, we need to learn how to do a slip knot, and you will find on the internet there will be a number of different ways to do this. I have my own way, what my grandmother had taught me as a child, and I kind of stuck with it. So I'm going to show you that way. I think it's fairly simple, but I'll let you be the judge. I'm going to take my yarn. This is a worsted weight yarn, if you see the number 4 on the label, and I'm using a crochet hook size 5mm or an H. And again, you can use either an H or an I. But you're going to take your yarn with the short end off to your left. Now I crochet with my right hand, so you're going to take it off to your left and just kind of lace it over your 2 fingers like so. Okay, and then cross it. Just bring it up until it crosses. Okay, and then tuck it under. So you're kind of making a loop, like you're you're just kind of tying your shoes almost. And then as you're holding that loop, you're going to take your fingers out and pull. And there you have a slip knot. Okay, let's do that again. I believe in practice, practice, and reiteration. Take your yarn and just kind of lace it over your 2 forefingers. Take your short end up until it crosses like that, and then you're going to take your short end, tuck it under, and hold a loop, okay? And then as you're holding that loop, you're going to pull your fingers out and pull. And then once you put your crochet hook in there, you can adjust the length by pulling, okay? You don't want to have it real tight on your crochet hook because that just causes a lot of problems. Another thing that we need to learn is how to hold like a tension for your yarn as you're crocheting. I have my own way, and I'm going to show you that. You can either hold your yarn like this with your finger up, you know, to kind of just have that tension there. You don't want to have it real loose because then your stitches are going to be really loose. So the way I do it is I wrap my pinky, and then I take it over my next finger, under my next, over. Okay, so it looks like that. Okay, let's do that again. Take your pinky and just kind of do a little twist and wrap, over, under, over. Okay, and then I just kind of twist my hand so I'm holding down here at the very end of the slip knot. You want to hold that so you have more control with your crochet. Okay, so we're getting ready to start the chain stitch. All right, so keeping that position just like that, you take your hook, and you can either hold your hook either like a knife, which I do, or a fork. I find the knife is easier to control for me, but there again, you'll find your own niche. Take your hook in front of your yarn and just grab it, and as you're pulling it through the loop, you're going to turn your hook downward so it's easier to pull through. Okay, so you just take it and grab it or yarn over and pull through that loop that you have on the hook. Let's do it again. Pull, yarn over, pull through. Okay, yarn over, pull through. So right there I made 4 chains. Okay, you can, if your pattern says, you know, to chain 20, you can either count as you go, or if you hold your chains like this, you will see at the very top here is kind of like little scallops, if you're holding the right side towards you, and you can just count 1, 2, 3, 4. You count those little scallops. It's difficult to show you on this, but if this is the right side, and you'll see if you hold it like that, it looks kind of like a V. And then if you turn it over, you'll see like there's like a bump that goes down the middle, a stitch that kind of goes down the middle and makes it like into a little bump. That's the wrong side of the chain. Okay, you will find that patterns will say with right side facing you, so that means your right side is going to be facing you. That's how you're going to crochet. Okay, so let's do that again. We're just going to go put your yarn in front of your hook in front of your yarn and pull through that loop, and you made a chain stitch. Okay, any questions, please feel free to email me at crochetbycindy@gmail.com, or you can make any comments on my blog at crochetbycindy.blogspot.com, or leave a comment on the YouTube video. And thank you for viewing my video.